ladies and gentlemen, Melissa is here. She'll be on in just a minute. Before that, though, I want to make sure that this video is public so that we can all share it and have everyone, even the people who are not on my friends list, be able to access it. So it'll be a lot of fun, definitely. So I'm going to make sure we do that right now. Scrolling to find it. And in the meantime, give a thumbs up if you're ready to transform, if you're ready to learn how to stay focused, even when the motivation is gone. Melissa's going to dive deep. We're going to have a great conversation on here in just a few minutes, so make sure you stay tuned. And before that, though, I just want to say thank you for tuning in. Your time, your energy is precious, is valuable. Thank you for choosing to invest it here with us and to continue to grow yourself. Also remembering how to have fun and be your greatest possible self together. This is just the beginning. So Melissa's going to come on in another minute here. Before that, let's talk about the sponsorship message. This is brought to you by the 21-Day Challenge. If you're an entrepreneur or a high achiever, you're feeling stuck, overwhelmed, lost, just not kicking it into that high gear, you want to break through, you want to find your purpose, your presence, and launch and grow your platform. I love helping people do that in our coaching programs. More specifically, the 21-Day Challenge is going to get you crystal clear on your long-term goal, break it down into bite-sized steps, and give you a plan of attack and daily one-on-one accountability with me to be able to achieve that. So let me know if you're ready for that 21-day challenge and we can talk about it. Send me a message, chris@beyourgps.com, or find me on Facebook, facebook.com/th3 Burns. Looking forward to talking to you about your 21-day challenge. Next up is going to be the iTunes review of the week, and this week it's by Human Flame. Human Flame says it gets you going, and they say, thanks, Chris, for your energy and positivity that you bring. Love what you are bringing to the table. Thank you so much, Human Flame. I appreciate you. And if you want to give us a review, go to beyourgps.com/iTunes or search Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self on the iTunes store, and you can find us like that. Let us know what you love, what you want to see more of, what you would change, what you would do differently, and just let us know how we can keep growing with you and keep serving you at the highest of levels. Thanks so much for doing that in advance. I appreciate you, I love you, and thank you for tuning in. Now, I'm going to introduce Melissa in just a few moments. Before that, grab your paper, grab your pen, be ready to take notes because she's going to share the gold, truly breaking through any kind of resistance or blocks or breakdowns, especially when you're not feeling on fire, when you're not feeling alive. We're going to be diving into a great, epic conversation, so make sure you stay all the way till the end because you never know what one idea here and now could totally transform the rest of your life. So stay tuned for Melissa's interview, and let's introduce her, and then we'll bring her on the screen because we are going to have a lot of fun, definitely, in this interview. Mel is an entrepreneur, life coach, and motivational speaker whose passion in life is helping people rediscover their greatness and achieve their goals. Mel has started several companies, including Skill and Will Fitness, LLC, Andre Consultant, LLC, and Mel M. Andre. While Mel was building her business, she overcame many struggles in her life, especially during a catastrophic year. Mel uses her own life experience to teach others how to keep pushing forward on their success journey, even when times are hard. And we're blessed to have her here with us today. Melissa, are you ready to rock the house, superstar?
Oh, I am so ready to rock the house.
Boom! We're now live on Becoming Your Greatest Possible Self. I love that energy, Melissa. Let's keep that going, girl. Let's keep it up. Awesome. So thank you for being here. Thank you for just showing up and delivering your gifts, helping people when they feel stuck, when they feel overwhelmed, lost. You know, we're going to be diving into a really great conversation today. So thank you for being here and taking the time to share with our audience and educate us on how we can grow with you as well. Thank you.
And thank you so much for having me on the show. I am really excited. I love connecting with like-minded people like yourself and with the audience out there. So I'm so excited for them to hear the message that we have today.
Awesome. We're going to dive in, Melissa. Our theme of the day is remembering how to have fun. So how does this come up for you in your life? I see you smile. You have such a big smile. You're like, I love fun. Bring it on.
I do love fun. I do love fun. But you know, there was a time when I was starting my first business. Ooh. I forgot about fun, and I was just hyper focused on the business, and there is no balance in that. And when you have no balance, you burn out, crash. And when I crashed, I burned out. I was cranky. I don't think anyone wanted to be around me at that time. And my personality is such a big part of my business
Yeah.
is that it wasn't too great for business. But to have fun, I enjoy traveling. I was in Vegas. I was in LA.
Yeah.
I actually did a 20 state tour in December and January, and that was amazing. That was fun.
20. Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah, 20 states in 2.5 weeks.
Wow. Holy moly. That's like a blitzkrieg. That's a blitz rush.
But it was fun. It was great. I met a lot of great people. I spoke to a lot of great people, helped a lot of great people. So that was amazing. And then I'm also a very outdoorsy person. So anything that's outdoors, I'm having fun. So ATVs, kayaking, rock climbing, hiking, anything outside, I am for.
I love it. I grew up riding dirt bikes, so I love the desert. It's most people are like, the desert, ugh, and it's like it's kind of like my home. Like I love the serenity, the peace. It's just like so. There's so much stillness in the desert. It's really beautiful.
It is very beautiful.
Yeah. Awesome. Great. So I love travel, love adventure. Great start, Melissa. Let's talk a little bit more about who you are and what your clients come to you for. I mentioned a little bit in the intro, but just to catch our audience up, tell us a little bit more about what you stand for and what your clients come to you for.
Sure. So my passion in life, and like you mentioned in the intro, is helping people. And every one of my businesses that I've created, there's been some form of helping people. So my first company was Skill and Will Fitness, and it's 5.5 years old, and that was helping people with their health. We do in-home personal training, corporate wellness, and nutrition coaching. And then I had Andre Consultants, and I actually shut that company down and kind of transformed it into Mal M. Andre.
Okay.
But with that company, I was helping people create their own businesses.
Beautiful.
So like a business consulting, but I wanted to go a little bit deeper. And that's where Mel M. Andre came to be. And that's the motivational speaking and life coaching company. And with that company, my main focus and my team's main focus is helping you rediscover your greatness. And that is, I am very passionate about that because we are already whole. Like we are already whole. And then sometimes, because life throws us some curveballs, or maybe we had a couple of failures, we forget about our own greatness. We forget about how wonderful we are, and we forget about how amazing we are. And what I like to do, and what a lot of my clients come to me for, is really just helping them rediscover their greatness. Now, since I am an entrepreneur, I do get a lot of people coming to me for help with entrepreneurial stuff,
right,
or career stuff. But we do branch out a little bit further than that. Whatever your goals are in life, I am here to help you create an action plan to go ahead and conquer those goals, achieve your dreams, and be what you want to be.
Wow, that's amazing. And, rediscover their greatness. I love that because that's typically people who want to build a lifestyle of impacting people and being rewarded for doing it, sharing their message, sharing their purpose and their gifts in the world in a big way. And, I really love that, Melissa. That is super, super important work that's being done. You're very important. You're very necessary in this world for the people who are struggling, who are looking for that guidance, who are looking for, hey, how do I really get to that next step? And it's like what we're doing here with becoming your greatest possible self. Like that is greatness. We're activating their greatness. So it's no surprise to me that you got attracted to us because the work that we're doing in the world is super important. Together, we can amplify and impact even more. So I love it. I love what you're doing. And it's clear that you're passionate about it. You're driven by it. And we want to know, how did that all begin? Where did that fire really begin to help people and be passionate about that? Let's go back in that journey and tell us where it all began for you, Melissa.
So it's really weird because I can never pinpoint the part of my life where I was like, you know what? I want to help people.
Right.
It's just always been innately in me. I have always been the kind of person who wants to help. Wow. I want to see people be successful. I want to see people be their greatest. And this is from a time when I was young. Like I said, I can't find a point where it was like, oh, light switch on. I'm going to help you today.
Right.
It's just that I wanted to help.
Mm.
I remember there was this one instance way back in the day. I look young, but I'm not that young. On my I played varsity soccer
Okay.
in high school, and I was really good. And after practice, there was someone on JV, and they could have been cut if the coaches weren't being nice, I
Right.
guess you can say. They were just struggling. And
Mm.
when everyone is leaving practice and getting ready to go and have fun, 'cause I think it was a Friday, so no one wanted to stay and do anything. No one had homework. I just remember staying there and maybe for 30 minutes to an hour after, just helping her just
Wow.
learn the fundamentals of what she needed to learn in order
Mm.
to get her back on the field.
Wow.
And it was just, sacrificing some of my free time to help someone else.
That's
And
awesome.
I felt good about it. She felt good about it. And it was just good all together.
Yeah.
So I went back to high school. I could go even further back to elementary school as well, but we won't take that far, but memory lane. But I've always been someone who wants to help people and just push them up so they can see their greatness and show their greatness to the world as well.
Yeah, that's powerful, and I love how you've always had it within you. I think that's the most powerful way to be aligned and integrated with our story. I'm admiring your story and how integrated it is with who you are today. Right? It's like you've been doing it. You've always been doing it. You've always had this gift, and for everyone who's listening or watching, like really write down what is the energy that you want to bring forth to you, the knowingness that you've had this greatness within you, the knowingness that you were meant for something bigger, you were meant to serve people with your gifts, you were meant to be creative, to invent, to innovate, to write, to speak, whatever that is for you, to get your message out, to have your voice be heard, whatever that is. Be aware of how to integrate that into your story, because Melissa, you're doing an amazing job at sharing that, and I just love teaching the influencers and entrepreneurs who are out there how to refine their storytelling ability like you're doing, and it's really, really powerful.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So you started off, you're always helping people, you just had that natural inclination for you. What transitioned you into running your own business in health and fitness?
So before I started my company, before I got certified to become a trainer, I was already training people because of course I want to help.
Yeah.
And someone told me, hey Mel, you should look into becoming certified because you're passionate about this and you're good at it. So why not make some money?
Wow.
So I got certified. I'm not going to say the company that I was working for, but I was working for a company that's completely not related to health and fitness.
Uh-huh.
And I just wasn't happy there. And I left in a dramatic fashion. And I went to go work at a gym just to see. And again, I don't like to talk bad about people or companies, so I won't say the gym that I went to.
Right.
But they were ran very poorly.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Surprise!
If you can do it, what's stopping me?
Yeah.
I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur, but just having everything fall into place like that, joining the health industry, going to a gym that was poorly ran, and then seeing that, oh, this is my golden opportunity, because if you're successful right now, okay, I know that I can be absolutely successful. And I just like that, I just said, okay, I'm going to start the company. And I did.
Wow.
And I just did it.
Just like that.
Just like that. My friends always make fun of me because they're like, Mel, do you just not feel fear? Do you just do? And I tell them, I do feel fear, and that's a common misconception, because people will see me jump to do things. Yeah. I do feel fear. I feel a lot of fear, but I accept that I'm feeling fear. I push it to the side, and I know that certain opportunities will not always be in front of me. So I'm going to go ahead and take those opportunities. I do think about it. They're always calculated risks. So I went and I took that calculated risk in the fitness industry, in the health and wellness.
Beautiful. And
I started Skill and Will Fitness.
Wow. So it's really understanding. Did you understand like what the worst case scenario is, and you just kind of were you logical about it? Did you detach from the emotions? Like how did that happen for you? How does that like process be instilled and developed in somebody?
So when I left the first company that I spoke about, I cashed out of my 401k. Okay. I was like, this is gonna be the money. It's gonna fund the company.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew I had to put myself in a position where if things didn't go 100%, I wouldn't be too bad.
Right.
So I swallowed my pride,
Mm.
pushed ego to the side, went to my parents and said, hey, mom and dad, I'm doing this crazy thing. I'm going to jump all into it,
Yep.
starting my own company. Yep. So can I live with you for 6 months to save money?
I love it.
And they said yes. And that was an experience.
Yeah, but you probably you had the taste of freedom and being independent. Yep. So like when you went back and you had to like live under their rules and their house kind of thing, you're like, okay, this can only last so long.
Dude, I think it lasted maybe, I'm gonna say 9 months.
Yeah.
And things went really well for me. That's but awesome. I know that if I didn't stay home with my parents, there was no way that the company would have took off the way that it did, because I had the ability to just, put the profit continuously back into the company. And I actually landed a pretty big contract right away with a university that really helped to let the company take off.
Wow. So how did you, like, what were you doing at that time that really worked for you to create that massive momentum?
I was putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I mean, if you knew me, you knew I started a company. If you knew someone who knew me, you knew that their friend started a company. I mean, I told everyone. I was very vocal about it.
Yeah.
I put myself out there. I did a couple free things. Don't be afraid to do a few free things, I tell people, because I gave some of my friends free personal training lessons in exchange for pictures. Yeah. So I was able to fill the Instagram page with pictures, videos, things like that.
That's awesome.
And people started calling me. And one of my friends was like, hey, I don't know if you can train me here. It's where I work. Why don't we try? Yeah. So I was like, okay, whatever, we'll try. And that's where I actually landed that big contract, is because her boss saw me and was like, oh, your friend's a personal trainer? We've been looking for one forever. So I was like, oh, perfect. So then we set up a meeting, negotiated a couple of things, and I landed this huge contract.
Wow.
And then on the other side, something that I really wasn't too sure about, because I felt like it would be a bigger loss than it would be a gain, was working with Groupon. And I'll mention them because I'm only going to say positive things. So working with Groupon, and just the way that we set up the deal and the way that we marketed it, of course, initially I lost money, but I want to say about 75 to 80% of the people who signed up with me through Groupon bought packages afterwards.
That's awesome.
It was a really great marketing tool, and that was something that I was on the fence about using.
Did you find that worked really well with fitness and the life coaching and helping people with their greatness, or would you say that that's really good for more of the fitness crowd?
So I'm going to say the fitness. I haven't used it yet for the life coaching. I was actually thinking about trying it. So if I try it and it works, I will let you know, and you can tell your audience. I'll be the test dummy. So I was actually on the phone with my representative last week, and we're seeing if we put together a deal
that's awesome.
That'll make it work.
Cool. Love it. Yeah. Love it. So beyond that first initial momentum, you mentioned Groupon was a good tool for you to use that helped you expand your business. What were some other ingredients of success that you see have been with you in starting your fitness business as well as carried into your life coaching business?
So something that really helps is what we're on right now. Social media is amazing. I mean, it's absolutely amazing. Yep. I feel like a lot of us wouldn't have been able to start the careers that we really wanted if we didn't have platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Yeah. We just didn't really have the platform to be able to reach so many people. Yeah. I mean, we could have been doing this on public television, but how many more people are watching it on social media than on public television? Right. So if you are now just starting, if you're saying, you know what? This 12-hour podcast was amazing. I'm going to jump out there. I'm going to start my own business. I'm going to start my own coaching practice, and it's going to start tomorrow. Just start right now. right after the next 4 hours are done, start right now.
That's right.
Go do something. and you don't have that much money to invest in it, go on social media.
Yep.
Do these Facebook lives, do Instagram lives. I have a Facebook page, but I use a lot of Instagram. I mean, we post almost every day, blogs, video blogs, longer little interviews, clips. So I use a lot of Instagram. Use it. It is free. Use those hashtags. Use what's available to you right now. Tell your friends, have your friends. Don't be afraid to ask your friends to repost your things.
Yeah.
Okay? Don't be afraid to ask them. Now they may flood their timelines. They may post one thing. They may not do it. Yeah. Never be afraid to ask, because the worst answer that you can get is no. And you didn't ask, it would have been no anyway. So just ask. Yeah. So I think that's something that really helped with my success. And then with the consulting company that I had, helping people start their own companies, social media has been a really big thing for them as well. So just constantly using what's available in front of you right now.
Yeah. And with the consulting company, was that more like a guiding them through the work? Was it like kind of done for you, more of an agency, or like what would you say really worked for your model?
For my model for the consulting company, it was, I did some work for them, but really guiding them because they wanted to start their company. And if you are an entrepreneur and you're not going to put the work out there, it's not going to work. No. Like, especially in the very beginning, you can't outsource everything. You got to get some work done yourself. And if they weren't able to sit there and do the work with me to get this company up and going, then it would have never worked. It would have been a waste of my time. And again, I'm in the business of helping people. So if I know from the beginning that you're going to fail because you're not going to put the work out, I'm not going to take your money. It doesn't look good for my track record. It doesn't look good for you as you're wasting money. So what I did is I did do work. I did do research for them. And then we would come together with what I told them to do. And we would go about just starting the company and just getting them going, helping them get that first running start. Yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So when the motivation or inspiration like wasn't there for you, how did you stay focused? And I want to start with that, and then we'll move into, what have you seen work for your clients as well? So we'll start with you. What worked for you?
So when you are first starting out, your motivation is so high. I mean, you think you can accomplish everything.
Yep.
And I mean, you think you can accomplish anything, but you're going to start hitting roadblocks. Things are going to go wrong, and it's okay. Failure is a learning opportunity. But one of the biggest things, and there's several, but the biggest thing, I mean, the absolute biggest thing that helped me stay focused when my motivation was out the door, because there was a time, and we can actually talk about it. We call it the year of hell. My friends and I, and my clients and I, it was a horrible year. Wow. Absolutely horrible year. Every couple of weeks, something really bad would happen. And like I said, we can talk about it. But let me get into this first. Were habits. I mean, habits are so important. Jim Rohn said, motivation is what gets you started, but habits are what keep you going. And I think it's one of the most important things. And if you want to be successful in life, if you want to start a successful company, if you want to go and climb that success ladder, you have to set up positive habits. And I tell people to set up the positive habits while the motivation is still high. Now you can set them up later on. When your motivation is so high, start setting these positive habits. Because when your motivation starts going down, when you don't feel like doing anything, when you want to lay in your bed and throw the blanket over your head and say, I quit, those habits will help keep you going because you're doing them automatically. You are literally just kind of going through the motions. And when you're going through the motions with these habits, they'll help keep things moving forward.
Yeah.
And when these things are moving forward and good things are happening, your motivation will slowly start to rise. I'm not going to say it comes back all of a sudden. No. But if you keep going, if you don't quit and you allow these habits to help push you through that time of peril or when your motivation is sinking, it will get better and your motivation will start to go back up slowly
Yeah.
but surely.
Yeah. Beautiful. So what would you say were the key habits that helped you during this year of hell?
So during the year of hell, I'll give you 3 things that kind of happened just to kind of show you where my mind was at,
Yeah.
and then how these habits actually helped me.
Okay.
So, and everything happened within like every 3 weeks, something really, really bad would happen. Death in the family. My best friend almost died. I fell down a manhole. I always repeat this because people they think, what is it, like a metaphor? No, I actually physically was walking my dog and fell down a manhole. I got into 3 freak car accidents. None of them were my faults, but they're like really weird car accidents that shouldn't have happened, but they happened. So, and those are just a couple things that were happening to me. There's a lot more, but during the year of hell, my habits really helped to save me, save my business. And I think the most important one was my morning routine. So my morning routine, being in the health and the wellness industry, we have an early start. I mean, 4:00 a.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. And I had this morning routine that I really don't know how I kept it going when, I fell down a manhole. But I just kept it going. I modified it a little bit because of the manhole incident. Right. But I would wake up at 4 a.m., brush my teeth, work out. When I wasn't injured, it would be jogging with my dogs. When I was injured, it would be walking with my dogs and then doing some more physical therapy style exercises for my injury. I would shower, drink coffee, meditate. Meditating is very important to me. And then I would do some business like things that don't necessarily pertain to my business. So maybe finance, stocks, things like that, and then head to work. And it just sounds like, oh, that's just the basic morning. But where my mind was at, if this wasn't already habit, I was depressed. I was suffering from extreme anxiety to the point where I would wake up in a panic because of the anxiety, but then I'd be extremely depressed. So I wouldn't want to leave bed. But my body was already used to, boom, waking up at 4 a.m. Yeah. So although I would wake up in a panic and then not want to do anything, my body would just automatically get up because that's what it was trained to do. And then just go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, feed the dogs, work out. It really helped because honestly, I wanted to stay in bed because I wanted to not leave my bed. That's where my mind was. But but I was able to keep moving forward and get to work on time because my first appointment was at 5:30 a.m. I lived 5 minutes from my first appointment, but my first appointment was 5:30 a.m. I mean, I to this day I say I don't know how I do it, but it was the habits. The habits really saved my business, saved my life, saved everything.
Damn, that's so powerful. So you went through all this challenge and traumas and things that normally would derail people because they're so impactful. They're so the energy that they carried with them would like take people out and just cause them to be like useless, right? Or paralyzed with fear, paralyzed with anxiety, paralyzed and overwhelmed. And it's just like they can't function how they would if everything's working well. And you had the automatic mechanisms kind of built into your subconscious in your life and your routine so that you didn't really need to effort to do it. I mean, you probably still did, but like for the most part, for the most part, it was pretty automatic. And you're like, well, this sucks, but I'm supposed to do this, so let's go. Yeah,
exactly. So habits really, they're so important. I think we brush over them a lot. They're so important because everything that we do in life really is a habit. Our morning routine, whether it's positive or negative, is a habit. Checking our social media pages, that's a habit. Like this is all things that are just been programmed to our brain. So if you form positive habits, it'll help keep you going no matter what.
That's so good. And I love what you said there about you were trained to do it. And I asked myself the question, what is my body trained to do at various points throughout the day? Like what does it unconsciously know to do? Does it unconsciously know to pick up the phone? Does it unconsciously know to, sit down and work for like 2 hours, bust out some content, block the content out? Or is there like so much variety and so much unpredictability in my routine that it doesn't stay consistent and it doesn't stay the same? That totally doesn't work, So I really appreciate that, because I recognize that there's room to grow in terms of what is my body and my mind and physiology and mentality. What am I trained to do? And if I want a different result, then I get to train myself to show up in a different way to produce those results.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like one habit I know a lot of people have, it's not a good habit, it's a bad habit. Do you ever like just come home from work, sit down and turn the TV on?
Yep.
That is a habit. You don't think about, you're not going home saying, I'm going to go home, sit and turn the TV on. It's automatic. You created a habit of watching TV after work.
Yeah, man. So we got to be aware. Number one is awareness. Is that what you would recommend first? Is to start analyzing and being aware of what are the habits, or do we design where we want to go first, the goal first, and then work backwards? How would you recommend to really maximize our time and our energy?
So I think it's going to be a little bit different for different people.
Okay.
One way that you can do it is be aware. Kind of pay attention to what you're doing in your day and just be aware of it and kind of write down what you do habitually. Okay. Keep a note of it, write it down. Or for other people, if you already know what you want to accomplish, what habits can you put in place to help you actually accomplish that? So it's either pay attention to what you're doing, get rid of start getting rid of the bad habits, or figure out what you want to accomplish and then create habits to help you actually accomplish that.
Can you give us some common examples that some of your clients have needed to put in place?
Like I said, number one is waking up early.
Okay.
That is actually a really, really big one. Okay. Setting boundaries for things. A habit that a lot of my clients have to break. So people will come to me and they'll tell me, Mel, I want to start my own business. I can't quit my job. I can't do this. Or Mel, I want to accomplish something, but I don't have time. I do not have time. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is a lot of the younger generation like this. This one. You and Beyonce have the same 24 hours in a day.
That's right.
Why is Beyonce able to do so much and you're not able to do so much?
Amen.
And one of the biggest distractions, one of the biggest negative habits are
our phones.
These babies right here.
Oh man. So
what habits can you form to help break your addiction to the telephone?
Boom.
Man, we have, everything right there in our hand, and we end up just scrolling for hours and hours. So something that actually helped a lot of people is actually scheduling phone time. What time are you allowed to just scroll mindlessly on Instagram? If that's your thing, if that's not your thing, don't start it. I'm not telling you to scrolling time if it's not your thing. But whatever it is on the phone, it could be those games that you play. Schedule a time to do it. I had this one client. They were severely addicted to their phone. They couldn't live without it, and they just thought they didn't have time to accomplish the goal that they wanted to accomplish, which was actually start their business. I told them, pick 2 times where you can go on, and their thing was Facebook and Twitter. So Facebook and Twitter, pick 2 times during the day, block it out, and just allow yourself to just have a habit of only using those 2 things during those 2 times of the day. So they picked at lunch and when they came home from work. So at lunch, they would spend 30 minutes on the phone. When they came home, it was, I think we scheduled 15 minutes. And then some of the social medias, they actually have an internal timer. I know Instagram does, will alert you. It says, you spent an hour on Instagram today, and you know when to cut it off. And I think there's some third-party apps that allow you to do it too. And I know when I'm telling, it may be hard to think of it in terms of habits, but if you create the habit of only these 2 times checking social media or playing the games or whatever it is that's taking up your time, you'll allow yourself to, this, your body knows this is the time.
Yeah.
Your mind knows this is the time that you're going to do it. So you may not be craving it throughout the day. You know that you're going to get your fix at that time. So that is one habit that I've had people create in order to allot themselves more time. So waking up early, blocking out time for, I guess we'll call it for fun time.
Yeah. So I think it's important too, like not just the fun time, but as much time as we can schedule in, especially for people who are starting their own businesses. They're like their own boss, they're their accountable to themselves. And that's one of the biggest pitfalls of saying, I'm going to go and be an entrepreneur and change the world. It's like, okay, well, let's look at your schedule and then we'll determine how you're actually doing, and it's like block the things in that are important to you. And then you mentioned boundaries, set up those boundaries, those non-negotiables. You sit your butt in that chair and do that work, or you get your butt outside and go get some fresh air every hour to keep yourself stimulated and alive and not like in a slump. And I think that's so important. And
then you mentioned accountability. Yeah. I wasn't going to mention that in this interview, but since you mentioned it, I'm going to touch on it a little bit. That is, I give a keynote speech about staying focused when the motivation is gone, and accountability is actually a big part of that. When you are your own boss, like Chris says, you are accountable to you.
Yep.
And it is very hard to stay on task when you are only accountable to you and no one else. And one way to help build accountability and to help stay focused is to find other like-minded people who may not be in the exact same field as you, but let's say entrepreneurs. Find a group of entrepreneurs and create a mastermind group. I am a big advocate of mastermind groups. Yeah. You want to find like-minded people. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to put this in. You don't want to only surround yourself with people who only think like you, because then your mind won't grow. Yeah. But there are times where you want to find like-minded people. And when you're an entrepreneur, this is one of those times. And you create a mastermind group. And then you meet. You can meet virtually on Zoom, like we're speaking now, or you can meet at your local library or Starbucks or wherever you'd like to meet, and sit down and have a meeting. Make it an hour, make it 2 hours. Sit down and have a meeting and discuss ideas, discuss what you are doing, and discuss what you want to do. And within those mastermind groups, tell people what your goals are. Tell people what you want to accomplish. Put dates to those. Yeah. If you know that you are in a time crunch, put dates to those and tell your mastermind group. And meet weekly, meet bi-weekly, meet monthly. But when you guys meet again, go over what you have accomplished thus far and have your mastermind group help hold you accountable to what you said you were going to do within that time frame. Yeah. But don't be selfish. You also have the responsibility of holding your peers accountable. So you create this group that's helping push everyone up and helping you stay accountable and helping you stay focused. And it gets to a time where you may not want to do something because you're losing motivation, you're losing focus, but you know that you are staying accountable to your group and staying accountable to other people. So you know that you're going to schedule that time in, or you're going to actually push through and do what you don't want to do because you're staying accountable and you're helping other people stay accountable as well.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like the power of masterminds. I do a weekly mastermind as well, and it's you can have some that are free. You can host one and get paid to do them. There's so many different awesome formats for it, and I love masterminds because it's like you have to show up. You say, here's the time that we're going to show up, and then you have those people who hold you accountable. There's also like one-on-one accountability, and Melissa, I mean, people pay you for you to be their coach so that you can hold them accountable. And the same thing with me. Like we have our clients who we raise the bar for, and we say, hey, here's what you said you wanted to accomplish. What's it going to take? All right, let's go. And I'm holding you accountable. And it's like putting people's butt on the line, putting an investment in themselves. When people invest in themselves, they're invested. They're invested in their process. And it's not just, oh, well, if I want to do it. It's like, no, I put money into this, so I'm going to freaking back my words up, because if not, then I'm going to be kicking myself in the pants, because I want to get my money's worth.
Exactly. So, a lot of people, they're like, oh, why would someone pay for a life coach? That is a huge reason why you would pay for a life coach, is accountability.
Yep.
And if you're putting your money out there and you're putting a significant chunk of money out there, you are going to be accountable. You're going to be accountable to yourself, because you want to see what you are getting for that money.
Right.
So you're going to be accountable to yourself, and you're going to be accountable for that coach, because you don't want to waste your coach's time either. Yeah. So life coaching, it is one of the best ways, in my opinion, to stay accountable to yourself and help push you further in your success journey. Yeah,
and it's like, at the end of the day, we have to protect our own visions, our own interests, our own goals and dreams, right? Nobody's going to do that for us, and especially when there's people around us, naysayers, doubters, haters, like all these kinds of things, and even the people who love us, and we share our dreams and our goals with them, like, it can have an unintended consequence that they don't support it. It's like, you're so fired up, you're starting a new business, going after this vision, got this new promotion that you're doing, whatever, and you share it with someone, and they're just like, why are you doing that? And it's like, no, I didn't share this with you so you could stamp on it. Like, come on, stop it, right? But having a coach there who is literally, you pay them, you invest in them, you have whatever kind of relationship with them, so that they are there to keep pulling you up. They're there to say, that's a great idea, and if it's really great, go execute on it. Or if it needs some improvement, that's a great idea, and here are some alterations that I would do to make it more successful, because I'm so invested in you achieving your goals. And you got to do the work. You got to show up, and you got to do what it takes to do the work, Yeah.
So I do want to touch on one thing that you said.
Sure.
Your loved ones, your friends, your colleagues, if you're an entrepreneur, will think that you are insane. They will, and they're going to tell you not to do something, not because they don't believe in you, not because they don't have faith in you, and not because they think the idea is stupid, but they're projecting their fears onto you. So when you're not talking to like-minded people about the crazy idea of starting your own company or doing something that's not part of the status quo, they're going to try and stop you. And they're going to try and stop you out of love. So never think that the people who are crushing your dreams are doing it because they want to see you fail. It's actually the opposite. They don't want to see you fail, and they couldn't see themselves doing it. So they don't want you to fail and go through all this negative emotion that you may go through. And that's why life coaches, group life coaching is also actually a really good thing. And mastermind groups are really, really great options, because they help push you in the direction of accomplishing your dreams. And they know you actually are crazy, because you have to be a little bit crazy, a little bit different in the head to want to start this entrepreneurial journey and this success journey. But they're going to be okay with that level of crazy, and they're going to help you.
Yeah, it's an obsession. It's got to be an obsession. If it's not, then like you're gonna get your butt whooped by life until you say, I'm actually willing to do what it takes to bring this to life. Think about a woman giving birth. Unless it was like the most important thing on the planet, which it is, to that woman. Like, why would they go through that? Oh my gosh, like it is hell. So it's important to like really stand for your vision and understand what it will take. And I think, a lot of entrepreneurs, they want it for the glamour, for the freedom, for the lifestyle, all that kind of stuff. And it really takes so much of an investment. And when we become accepting of that and we embrace that, like, I'm willing to put in the grind, I'm willing to put in the work, and I'm willing to, of course, take care of myself and have these self-care habits, get nature, get all the routine of rejuvenation in regeneration into my schedule. Like it's important to have that balance. I think you talked at the beginning, when you're out of balance, you just like crash, right? it's like
definitely
to
will
maintain
crash.
that focus, you got to
Mhm.
have the balance. Like I would love to go back to that, just touch on that again, the balance and having everything work together. What are your thoughts on that, Melissa?
So I think what hurts a lot of entrepreneurs is we always hear about the constant hard work, you got to push. And there will be a time where you have to give it 1,000%. You will have to give it 1,000%. But in order to have a successful company and maintain the successful company, at a certain point, you can't give it 1,000% because you're not going to have any fuel in the tank anymore. So realizing that, yes, at a certain point, I'm going to have to give it my all, plus some, I may have sleepless nights. You can't, you can't do that forever. And you have to realize, and you have to be self-aware that when you get to the point where you may break, and you don't want to get that point right where you may break, you have to give yourself some kind of break, some kind of relief, some kind of something. And it's different for everyone.
Yeah.
Me, I will go out there and kayak to wherever and back or hop on my bike. And I'm like, okay, I let it go. Or I may have to go on vacation and just lay on the beach for a while.
Yeah.
It's different with everyone, but you have to have some kind of balance in your life. Life can't be all play and life can't be all work. Nope. You have to have some kind of balance. You have to take care of yourself. You have to, for instance, schedule time at least twice a week to get some kind of physical fitness in because you can't 100%. Sit in all day. Yeah. You have to schedule time to make sure that you are eating healthy. You have to schedule time to feed your social needs, to talk to other people. Yeah. Especially if you're a solopreneur who may not deal with people all the time. Yeah. Humans are social creatures. You have to go out there, you have to laugh, you have to joke, you have to interact with people. So just finding ways to balance all these things in your life. And if you have a family, whether it's kids, a spouse, a girlfriend, parents, make time for your family as well. Because they're going to be the ones who love and support you. So make sure that you're giving them something back as well so you can receive that love as well.
I love that, Melissa, because I think the relationships, the family, our loved ones, a lot of times in the entrepreneurial journey, bringing a vision to life, it can be easy to neglect them, and to not be as effortful as we once were. And it's that constant watering and the nurturing of the plants, of the relationships, so to speak, and that's super important. And it's to have a balanced life, have time for spirituality, have time for fitness and wellness, have time for family and loved ones and friends. Even I know that for me, my friends kind of went out of balance because I said, well, I'm just going to be working. I'm going to be working with clients, and then I'm going to be with my girlfriend. I'm good. And it's no, I need a freaking brotherhood, and women need to be around their sisters and the queens, and I need kings, a tribe of kings around me, so I can stay fired up and be able to share when I'm feeling stuck or overwhelmed or whatever else it might be. And it's important to not wait till we're in that place of desperation and damn, I'm so overwhelmed, and then start turning to people. But it's while things are going good, create and establish those relationships, those habits, and those structures that we can put in place to stay supported.
It is. And you'll find, I mentioned a couple of things with staying focused. You'll find when you're living a balanced life, it's actually easier to focus on the task at hand, because you'll miss things when you're hyper focused on something like the business that you're trying to build. Totally. Sometimes you take that step back, let life balance your life out, and then you can see the bigger picture.
Yeah. Yeah, I love it. So, Melissa, if there were any final takeaways to give our audience, you really wanted them to get, receive, implement, integrate because of this interview, could be something we already covered, or it could be something fresh that we haven't touched on yet. Why don't we drive that home for our audience?
Okay. So I just want to remind everyone that you are whole, you are amazing, you are wonderful, and that you can do it. And I always tell people, I am here. I'm not here to make you great. I am here to help you rediscover your greatness, because you are already great. You might have covered your greatness in some things and it's not peeking out there, but you are here. And if you are listening to this podcast, you are ready to rediscover your greatness. Right. So go ahead. This is the push that you need right now.
That's right.
So when you're ready to rediscover your greatness, I'm here, Chris. You have multiple life coaches, people who are helping, that are here to help you rediscover your greatness. And that is great. And that is wonderful. And stay motivated. But like the topic of this discussion is that motivation level is not going to always be at 100%. Life is going to come at you. And when life does come at you, when things are going wrong, it's okay. You may fail. Failure is not permanent. Failure is not permanent. I'm going to say it one more time. Failure is not permanent. Failure really is a learning opportunity. So take a look at why you failed. Take a look at what you did. Make the tweaks that you need to do. You may have to take a slight break from it, but failure does not mean it's time for you to quit. Failure means it's time to learn and retweak things and then jump right back into it. Now, I know it can be hard to jump right back into it when you fail, when things don't go your way, when you're faced with a lose-lose situation. And that's when you need to stay focused, even though the motivation is gone. And like we touched on today, build positive habits. Give yourself the ability to run on automatic when your mind is going crazy. Give yourself the ability to keep moving forward, even though life is throwing you a lot of curveballs. Form those positive habits and form those positive habits immediately. Now, something else that we did not touch on, which I think is so, so important, especially when the motivation isn't there and you need to stay focused, is you have to remain positive. I mean, a positive mindset will get you so far. It's one of the most important things. To me, it is one of the most important things. You know, when things are going wrong, when there's failure, when there's roadblocks, when there's obstacles to overcome, it is natural for us to have these negative self-talks. But when you are talking negative to yourself, you can't find the solution. When you are talking negative to yourself, you won't believe in yourself. And when you're talking negative to yourself, there is no way that you'll be able to focus on your goals. You have to find a way to take those negative feelings, those negative thoughts, and push them to the side and fill them with positive thoughts and a positive attitude and a positive mindset. Positivity will take you so far, even in a lose-lose situation, because there will be situations where there's no solution. A positive mindset and a positive attitude will help you deal with that lose-lose situation without getting as stressed out as you could have if you were talking negative to yourself. And one of my favorite ways to stay positive are positive affirmations. I know if you listen to The Secret or listen to a lot of people, a lot of gurus, they'll talk to you about positive affirmations. They will help you. They will help you out of tight situations. They will help you stay focused. They'll help you continue to move forward. You see, positive affirmations are just positive statements that you say to yourself about where you want to go and kind of what you want to be. So an example is, I am an amazing entrepreneur who can overcome any obstacle that comes my way. Or you can even say, even if you're not a millionaire, tell yourself, I am a millionaire and my companies have brought me so much success, because you know that even though you're in this little tiny hiccup, that you will be a millionaire and your companies are going to bring you success, because you're not quitting, you're moving forward, you're learning from those failures, you're going to make those tweaks, and you will accomplish your goals. So tell yourself that. And with my clients, I tell them, write it down. Write down your affirmations. Carry them in your pocket. And when you have that negative self-talk in your head, pull it out. Have it right there. See that you wrote it. Read it. Read them to yourself. Tell yourself these amazing things about yourself now and those amazing things that are coming sooner rather than later. And eventually, you won't even have to pull it out, because the moment that negative thought comes into your head, that positive thought, that positive affirmation is going to come and knock it out the ballpark and say, nope, this is what you need to be thinking and this is what you need to do. And you have to stay positive. So guys, again, you are amazing. You are whole, and you can accomplish what you want to accomplish if you just believe in yourself. You put the hard work in, you find like-minded people, whether it's a mastermind group, a life coach, and you just continue to be positive and build positive habits, guys.
I love it. I love it, Melissa. This is so powerful and super valuable. The habits, essential to have those habits. The positivity, the gratitude, the affirmations, absolutely critical. So essential. And really everything you've shared has been so powerful, Melissa. I love it, and I know our audience is loving it too. They want to know, how do they take that next step with you? How do they stay connected with you? What can they do with you, Melissa?
Sure. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, that is the best way to consume all of my information. So my Instagram handle is Mel_Andre911. And I post Monday through Friday. There's something every day. On the stories, I'll post on the weekend as well, but it's more personal. But we have Motivational Monday. We have Tuesday Thoughts. We have midweek pickups. We have Thankful Thursdays. And then Fridays, we kind of switch up kind of what we do. So there's something every day. There's a video, there's a blog, there's something every day to keep you motivated.
Beautiful.
And then you can also reach me on my website at melmandre.com. And if you want to book me for motivational speaking, or if you want to contact me for life coaching, you can do that. I actually offer a free 45-minute breakthrough life coaching session for anyone and everyone who's interested in life coaching. So you can sign up for that on my website as well.
Boom. I love it. Mel, you are a powerhouse. I'm so grateful to have you here. Everyone who's listening or watching, let Melissa know she's rocking it. Follow her on Instagram, Mel_Andre911, and go to her website, melmandre.com. Melmandre.com is her website. Go there, have a conversation with her. She's so freaking powerful. Melissa, thank you for being here and for sharing your light and your gifts and reigniting that greatness within people that they always had within them. Just reminding them, remembering them how to have fun, how to have that balance, how to achieve their big visions and big dreams and big goals in life. Thank you for what you do.
All right. Thank you so much for having me. And thank you so much for what you do. This is amazing. 12 hours is amazing. So that endurance is amazing. So thank you so much. And like I said, I love working with like-minded people. So I'm so happy that I was able to be on this podcast.
Awesome. Awesome, Melissa. We'll see you soon, okay?
See you soon. Thanks.
All right. Take care.